Hey y'all, it's December 31st and what happened in music history today. I'm Kel. I'm a content creator with a lot of different interests, music being one of them. I'm loving doing these, but this is the last day I'm going to do one like this. Gonna mix it up tomorrow, so stay tuned. Hope you like the new twists or formats or whatever. Please comment, follow, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know, us creators really appreciate your support. Let's get to it. Born today, in Gangnam Style, Psy was born. Joey McIntyre from New Kids on the Block, Anthrax co-founder Scott Ian, Aerosmith bassist Tom Hamilton, Donna Summer, Johnny Denver. The Police's Andy Summers were all born today. Who died on this day? The very talented daughter of Nat King Cole, Natalie Cole, one of the Pointer Sisters, Anita Pointer. Ricky Nelson had some hits, was on Ozzie and Harriet, and it's rumored the plane that he was on exploded or caught fire in midair, and it's rumored that it could have been possibly from freebasing cocaine. Nothing proven. And Burt Burns, we mentioned him a couple days ago, Hang On Sloopy, all that Twist and Shout. He wrote those. He died on this day. These are the bands that made their live debut. The Beach Boys, The Kinks, AC/DC, and Journey. On this day in music history, Louis Armstrong got in trouble by firing his father's pistol on New Year's Eve, was sent to a home where his musical training began, and he astounded the teachers. John Lennon's dad releases a solo on this day, and it doesn't really do much. So he didn't continue. Happy trails to you. That's not the right version, but Roy Rogers and Dale Evans were married today. Fleetwood Mac makes an offer to bring on Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. After rumors of the Beatles looking for a new bassist, Paul McCartney officially sues to dissolve the Beatles. I'm a Believer, written by Neil Diamond, performed by the Monkees, goes to #1. Last year, Taylor Swift officially surpassed Elvis Presley for the most weeks at #1 of any solo musician in music history. In 1984, the drummer for Def Leppard, Rick Allen, either got into a road rage incident or was racing another vehicle, crashed his car, and severed his arm and injured his other arm. They had to leave the arm unattached. It was not reattachable. And he did rejoin the band and plays with a specially adapted kit to accommodate his one arm. Tom Jones was knighted today, and Paul McCartney became a Sir. For the rest of this, we're going to dedicate it to one certain person. 1972, Dick Clark's Rockin' the New Year's Eve was first shown on ABC. Featured Three Dog Night, Al Green, Helen Reddy. Quick ad, guys. Listen, go check out my links right below in the description. The first link is going to be for Amazon. They've got a ton of musical stuff in there. I'm talking instruments, drumsticks, drum kits, everything you could ever want. Heads, amps, percussion stuff, you name it, they got it. Use that link. It takes you right to the music page, and then you can search for whatever you want if it's not on that main page, which we all want different stuff. So, you know, not everybody plays the drums. So whatever doesn't pop up on that page, you can search it. It helps me out. I'm an affiliate. I'll make a small commission from anything that you purchase, and it just helps the channel grow, helps me. And it helps me continue to do this because I have a lot of fun doing this. And I hope you guys have a lot of fun watching it. Secondly, second link down there is Zounds. If you're, again, looking for musical instruments, they have a huge selection of stuff. These came from there. And I got some cymbals from there. They have payment plans. You can't beat it. They have all the great instruments that you need, and you can get it on convenient payment plans. Perfect setup. Go get your gear. Use my links. Appreciate you. Let's get back to it. Very few people had as much impact on the music industry as did Dick Clark. I loved everything and couldn't wait to see it when I was growing up. American Bandstand, the old reruns, the Rockin' in the New Year's Eve. I lived for that stuff, as I'm sure a lot of people similar to me or musically inclined did the same. Richard Wagstaff Clark was born on November 30th, 1929. He was basically a TV personality and did do a game show for a while, and kind of got his start at a broadcasting firm that his uncle was involved in. Mr. Clark wanted to be in radio from like the age of 10, and he even went to college for it, Syracuse University. Eventually worked his way up to buying several radio stations. During his time as a radio broadcaster, there was another gentleman doing a bandstand show, and Dick was doing it on the radio. Well, this gentleman got arrested, and Dick had filled in for him a few times, and it was just a natural fit. He just took over the bandstand when this guy was let go. 1957 American Bandstand was renamed and officially launched with Dick as the host. Dick Clark had a natural rapport with people, great conversation, very comedic. He was non-threatening to a parenting age group of people who weren't sure if they wanted their kids involved with rock and roll. However, Dick's persona and having live teenage kids dance on the show helped bring that full circle, and they kind of embraced it. He was able to make the American parents feel like rock and roll was non-threatening. By the end of 1958, Dick Clark's American Bandstand had 20 million regular viewers. When the show first started out, they pretty much played records. And then in the 60s, they started bringing on live performances. And many of these live performances probably wouldn't have happened other than the bandstand. Let me name drop. The Supremes, Ike and Tina Turner, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, the Beach Boys, Stevie Wonder, Prince, Simon and Garfunkel, Jerry Lee Lewis, Buddy Holly, Bobby Fuller, Johnny Cash, Sam Cooke, Fats Domino, and Chubby Checker. All of them had their first real nationwide exposure through American Bandstand. Through the years, that show did live performances in the 10,000s, and a lot of those people wouldn't have got national exposure without that show. A lot of his performers were basically shocking to the audiences. As he progressed, he was routinely criticized for playing the devil's music, and it was going to turn their hair blue, and it was going to make their teeth fall out, and there was still a lot of hardline politicians, old musicians, and parents that just couldn't embrace the rock and roll dream. Dick Clark was absolutely huge in his heyday. He was one of the most popular people, good and bad, in the country. And short of Elvis Presley, if it wasn't for Dick Clark, rock and roll would not have made the impression in this country that it really did. One other thing that he was real famous for is desegregation of the music industry. It took him a couple years, but he desegregated the stage. Everybody played on the same stage. It didn't matter the color of the musician, and the audience was desegregated. That's huge. Paul Anka is quoted as saying, "This was a time when there was no youth culture. He created it, Dick. And the impact of the show on the people was enormous." As many of you watch Ryan Seacrest tonight, remember that he took over for Dick. It's his show now. Of course, Dick has passed on. However, Dick ran that show for like 30 some odd years, and it was super, super successful to watch Dick Clark rocking in the New Year's. And without him, rock and roll music would not be what it is today. I loved the man. I loved watching him. I loved watching his shows. There was something about his charisma. There was something about the artists that he helped propel to future success. And a ton of them made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Dick Clark, may you rest in peace. Thank you guys for sticking with me. And I wish you a very, very, very happy New Year. Safe for you and your families. Don't forget to click the subscribe. Don't just click all the buttons. Keep hanging with me. I got some changes coming up. Check out my links. I love you all. Goodbye 2024. Bring in 2025. Keep playing. Peace, y'all.